listening to 89.1 Wider FM.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 4 of the ESBN on 89.1 Wider FM. This is hosted by Western Michigan Esports, everything competitive gaming at Western Michigan. Find it right here. And today, I am joined by some members of our Rocket League team and Evan, whom I dragged out to show up on this episode, but he's here, so I guess we can yell at him for some things. But I guess to introduce yourselves, I don't know if you want to go first. Go ahead. I guess to give some frame, your name, your tag, and then your major.
Sure. My gamer tag is Gengar, and my major is Flight Science.
Flight Science? Yeah, what year are you?
I'm a junior.
Junior. Okay, cool.
I'm Jack, or Rennet. I'm also Flight Science, and I'm a senior.
There's no like correlation that you guys play Rocket League and everyone's like, is everyone like a Flight Science major? Is that
As far as I know, it's just us two on the team. So
okay. Do you think that gives you like an edge?
Definitely. Yeah.
They're doing the math in the air for all the tricks and
We've been
stuff.
practicing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got the Wolfram Alpha equations running, to try and do the goal setups. No, that's cool. It's cool. But back returning are me and Evan, the boomers of the program. So we are around. So me and Evan are here, but we're mostly just going to be facilitating, talking whatever about today. So the first question I've been asking everybody on the teams in the episodes is where does your name come from? So I think we know where the genesis of that one.
You
but
would
I guess
think you know where Gengar comes from,
Sure,
but it's not my favorite Pokemon.
it's not your favorite.
No,
Okay, I guess this is a good place to start.
On Xbox, I had an OG gamer tag. That account got banned for a little bit, and I just made a new account, Gengar, for no reason. I didn't have a reason, and then the old account just stayed banned forever. So I just stuck with Gengar. So there's that.
All right, so we got Gengar now. So what is your favorite Pokemon though?
I mean, at this point, it's probably Gengar, but that's not why the name came in the beginning.
Okay, all right. Do you have a favorite Pokemon, Jack?
I don't know.
Top 3. You just
Top
shoot them
3.
off. Any you're feeling. You don't have to stick to one.
I mean, Gyarados.
There we go. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I like
I
Gyarados.
think that's a good one.
They're all wrong though. It's Mudkip.
It's not Mudkip.
Yes, it is.
I think that's
a
wrong.
crazy-
Yeah,
that's
Talking
the
about
hottest take I've heard in a long time.
Mudkip is busted.
Yeah.
That is even crazier.
Yeah.
Mud slap. Boom.
That's crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I guess you're going like adorableness factor. Yeah.
No.
Adorable. Get me in a
My God. Yeah.
That one might not make it.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know if it will, but well, regardless, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what my favorite one is. I've been dancing on like Walrein for a while. I don't know.
Aren't you into Whale Lord?
Wailord's pretty sick too. He's massive. I don't know. That's really about it. I don't know. He's just a big whale. It's pretty funny. But all right, well, I guess we can talk about Rocket League actually at some
What about
point
Renet's
here.
name?
So,
Oh, yeah.
huh?
Renet's
Oh
got
yeah,
a
Rennet.
name.
Yeah, sorry, we're going on that path. Rennet. Yeah, go ahead. Your name.
So my last name is Resnich. All of my friends in high school, for whatever reason, always like to talk to each other in like the little cutesy pet name, like just to be annoying. Yeah. And they always would call me Rennet, like just to shorten my name. So I decided I was in She Chose clan. Shout out to the boys back home. I was She Chose Rennet for a couple of years, but now I'm Rennet.
Oh, okay. That's honestly, I was gonna say I would assume like they would have gotten like Rez or something like that, or just like the Z in there somewhere.
My dad's Rez. So
Oh, your dad is
That's the
okay.
issue.
All right.
Big Rez.
yeah, Big Rez, exactly.
You got to work for that title eventually. So
Right, maybe it'll get passed down to me.
yeah,
Who knows?
maybe get that one. So no, that's cool. But yeah, so I guess let's talk shop about some of the stuff going on in your guys' season right now. I know you finished up the ESC as far as like the max season last semester, but you guys are on to CRL right now, and you got qualified for that. So congrats.
It was a wild day. I was watching
Very.
it through the Discord share stream. I didn't want to join the call. I was like doing other stuff, but like I occasionally watched the refresh on like how the scores were doing because they wasn't being shown anywhere else. I'm like, oh, there's Virus's stream, and then this is like, the score was crazy, but
Oh, it was a wild day.
Yeah, even watching like the bracket thing, like how we made it
tell
through.
us, run us through the day, I guess, if you want to.
Me and Corbin and Tavian were alone in the arena. These guys decided to play from home, so we were just spectating in the arena. What was it? Sunday morning. Started at like 12 on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And we woke up bright and early. Got to the arena.
Noon. Hold on a second. It's like bright and early. It's
That's
like
crazy.
noon.
To start playing Rocket League.
Yeah,
I need
yeah, I
to
was
hate
gonna say
myself till later in the day.
Yeah,
For gamers,
I'll
that's
never
like
peak until 2
Just wait until the
so.
Invitational when you have to wake up before noon.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
gonna be
know
like-
if I'll make it for that.
it's
I'm
what
busy that day.
We were sitting in the arena, Tavian, Corbin, and I, watching this stream, and we were just sitting there. I mean, looking at seeding, just seeding alone. I think we were 50th seed in the whole tournament, and it's hundreds of teams.
Yeah.
And in our bracket, there was like a 7 seed, 11, 10, and we ended up knocking them off. We lost the first round of the winners finals to Kent State. Mm-hmm. So we got bumped down to the losers finals. Beat that team. It was like Ottawa or something.
Yeah, it was Canadian
team, and beat them in the losers finals. Went back up and had to reset the bracket, and then beat them. The
Kent
team
State.
that already beat us once.
Yeah.
Kent State.
We had to beat them twice in a row to qualify.
And we already played against them in the ESC, so like you
Exactly.
guys are very.
Oh, we lost to them in the ESC semifinals, I think,
Yeah.
for the MAC League. in
That
the fall.
had to feel good.
Oh yeah,
especially.
Yeah,
No, that was
it
huge.
was a
I hate
nice
bracket
feeling.
resets though. Not
yeah,
a
Yeah,
fan.
no, I'd
Yeah,
rather
I
give them a
hate
The
game.
whole
Like,
benefit
that's-
of like double elim is like you play one less game. That is the whole benefit of being in winners finals is you don't have to go down and be
Right.
threat of losing. But it's like I think it makes sense for like shorter games sometimes, like Smash Bros. It kind of and like fighting games.
But when you're playing like best of 5, best of 7 Rocket
Yeah.
League games,
Yeah,
like
that's
that's
like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
happened in
it was
so
Overwatch.
much.
I've seen it in League. I've seen it in Rocket League. Is like that is way too much.
Yeah.
So
It's exhausting.
It's a lot, and we were sitting there. Corbin and I were locked in.
Yeah.
We were sitting there. We were recording it the whole time, like just our reactions. And I actually had one of my buddies. He used to be on the Rocket League team with us, Croc.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I had him on FaceTime watching the computer screen as the game was going. So it was really cool.
FaceTime in the computer screen.
Yeah.
We have technology past that point, man. You can
Yeah,
just
you
like
think.
screen share.
I don't have the permissions for that.
We'll talk to Tavian about it. We'll make sure you can try and get those. But no, yeah, congratulations. That was a crazy day. I remember that was a day because like I'm normally off Sundays and I don't really like do much then. But Tavian is just like blowing up my phone. Like, it's like tweak this now. Like I'm like, I have nothing ready, man. Like I got nothing going on. I'm just
Right.
like, so, but no, it was crazy. So yeah, that's super exciting to hear. But you guys ended up making it to CRL and you've been at that, I think, for 3-4 weeks now or so.
I think we just finished week 3.
Week 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So how's it going? I've seen.
I am happy to be here.
yeah,
I've seen the score reports online, so
Yeah.
it was a little loaded
there was one
question.
yesterday,
but-
right?
It was close.
guys, like,
yesterday.
3-2'd?
Yeah, we 3-2'd the team that was like third, or we
Yeah.
didn't win 3-2. We lost 2-3, but they were third overall last season. So I mean, that's a good team.
Right.
We have like good results. We just can't close out right
Yeah, I think like I saw like I posted in your guys' chat like the power rankings that some people say like there's no expectations for our team, unfortunately.
Zero.
We're building the narrative. That's
Yeah,
what we're doing right
you know,
now.
Working low.
It's for the
first
plot, man.
time in, you beat out a bunch of other teams that should have been there, and you know, you don't qualify for CRL, you're basically done for the whole semester. So
Yeah.
it's like, how does it feel that like you know you may not be winning right now, but like you proved yourself that you belong here?
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel?
It's a good feeling. Like I'd stopped playing competitively for a bit, so to come back and then qualify for something, especially in the East where it's stacked, there's a lot of good teams.
2 Akron teams, like
There's teams with like literal full pro rosters. Like
Yeah.
it's tough, but it feels really good to still have it.
Yeah, I do have to give a shout out to the Avengers Endgame meme that got sent the other day in the chat. That was funny, and there was the East versus the West
Yeah.
division. So
One team on the West versus every other team on the East.
yeah, the East is just like Thanos and everybody built up, and then it's just. But you were in that, weren't
Yeah,
you? Yeah,
yeah.
so you were in the mix on
incoming
that.
players.
So good that you got included in that. So that was funny. So I was all for that. But yeah, I guess rolling through that. So I mean, you've kind of got like like now no crazy expectations coming through in this season. So I mean, does that like help the headspace in the game that like you can just kind of roll in? That's like any W is a W at this point.
Yeah,
So.
I think so. There's no pressure for us to, go out and get first again or anything. We're just playing. We're having fun. So I think it is useful. But I mean, obviously, it'd be nice to win.
And we got the Wikipedia page out of it, honestly.
Yeah.
That CRL
That's
tag,
huge.
easiest
And the
tag of my
tag in
life.
game.
Yeah.
Easiest tag of my life. Man. I don't gotta play a game. I'm gonna be able to rep that stuff forever. Oh yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, so you get it in game. You get the tag of that, and you get to keep it like forever.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Tavian gets
Ranked
one, too.
demon.
Yeah,
Tavian
Reddit.
gets one too.
Yeah,
That's
He's the coach.
What is he, like Diamond?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like the
Something like
Diamond.
CRL Spring 2023 contender Tavian.
That's so good.
That rocks. Yeah, because like in for like CLOL and like College League of Legends and stuff, you get like stuff, but you only get it for like the season, and then they like take it away from you. And so then it's just like gone. So you have to like re-qualify again. So it's
No, you keep the tags.
Yeah, I think if you finish in top 8 of CRL, you get a CRL elite.
Yeah.
If you're bottom 8, it's contender, and then like CRL
Finalists,
champions and
there's
stuff like
finalist
that.
champions.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think we're expected to get a contender tag here
that's
at this point.
At
more
the
than-
least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more
We
than
got-
you would have got if you didn't qualify.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Yeah, that's still
That's
sick.
nice. Well, at least I do want to talk about this because I think this is like something that's like I guess just about the game in a bit. Is that like the fact that like it's still in my Psionics, right? Even though it's Epic owns
Yeah.
it right
Yep.
now. Like, wow, what does Psionics like collegiate support look like? Because it sounds like they're like more involved in like the collegiate scene than a lot of other companies are as far as game support goes. So
It used to be way worse. They as the years have gone on, they've gotten way better, more support. They've changed things. Like they're listening to the players when they have feedback about the format or whatever. So in that regard, yeah, they listen and they're very involved with it. But like outside of CRL, a lot of people have issues with Psionics because it feels like they don't listen. So it's kind of half one side of the coin,
Yeah.
CRL being a part, or at least its Twitch channels are run by the same people that are running like the actual pro circuit RLCS.
Same
So, like,
casters and stuff.
Yeah, same casters, same production. So it's all very professional, and they all have access to their private servers that we get to play on.
Yeah,
And we'll
play on
run through
RLCS
tests and
servers,
everything. So
super low ping. It's really nice.
it's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty amazing. Like that's honestly more than you can say for a lot of other games. So I mean that is cool to see that like do get that like firsthand experience for like running those games and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, is there any like features that they sort of like implement that's like collegiate exclusive or anything like that, or I guess any advantages or perks and stuff like you can get in the game for like being in collegiate?
I mean, other than the tag and you get the fancy servers, but that's about it.
I mean that's still nice.
It's the servers are really nice because they're the best ones they have. They're super low ping. Everyone loves them.
Yeah, that's actually crazy because like we like just got that. I mean, I think for like League of Legends just got like Champions Queue servers, but it's like pros only localized in like California and stuff. And it's like that just got implemented last year. So the fact that like college players have access to something like that is like super cool already, I think, for Rocket League. But yeah, so no, I mean, I think that is like pretty exciting. And I guess in your guys' opinion, like, is there anything like you'd want to see like in terms of more collegiate support or how that can sort of shape itself? Because it looks like we've been here for like 4 or 5 years watching the scene, and it's everything has gotten like incrementally better. I guess like what's like missing right now?
I think the biggest thing people have issues with CRL is pro players being in it because it's kind of unfair if you have a team that is being paid to play and they're just wiping college kids.
Yeah.
But also, how do you regulate that? It's kind of unfair either way. But that's like something I think they should look into.
It kind of comes down to like, you could either just limit per team, like if they have a pro contract and like.
But what is a pro contract?
Yeah, exactly.
What does that mean?
There's a lot of things that have to be limited.
Is someone making $500 a month the same as someone making $7,000? I don't know.
Yeah, he's a contract law specialist. So
I had to take contract law a lot, but it's not too difficult, and I think a couple other kind of leagues that kind of implement that kind of stuff. I know Overwatch at least did for a little bit in something in capacity, and I have seen pro players, and we actually play against a former pro player, but he's not actually pro anymore. So it's like you could limit it to one per team, or like, you know, there's different levels of professional Rocket League to the point where, you know, you can't have someone playing in the top teams that are sponsored by like NRG and stuff like that. But like there's lower level circuit, I'm assuming, that like it could get
I mean, if
iffy.
it's RLCS or nothing, basically.
Okay.
So, I mean, and people go in and out of RLCS constantly, so it'd be tough to keep up with that. And then what do you, like if you're on a college team, then you go pro, you just get dropped at, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues I could see.
Yeah, and I think that's something that like changes, like we'll see change over like the next 5 years for sure, and probably see more stuff towards that. Because I mean, like if like you always go back to like compare it to like traditional sports and like the NCAA and stuff, it's like you can't play for, you know, like the New York Giants and then also play for like, you know, Syracuse at like the same time or something. It's like it's not going to go that way. So I think like esports does have some catching up to do to, you know, get that. But I mean, I like to see, you know, collegiate is like we're still learning like what, you know, it looks like as far as like a funnel. Is it collegiate into pro? Is it, because right now a lot of times we're seeing like pro players are just coming back to collegiate because like you start
they can get free education and just play.
Literally,
yeah. So I mean, like, I guess what are your guys' thoughts on that? As far as like, you know, like, do you think like collegiate should be this pipeline to pro, or is it, you know, something where like collegiate should just be a space where like once you've like ran your pro and you want to get like that secondary education, it's like,
I don't think it should necessarily be either, like a pathway one way or the other. I think it should be, if you're in college and you play, good. But I mean, obviously, if I was pro and got offered like a full ride somewhere, I'm going to take it. Obviously, I get why they do it, but I don't think it should necessarily be like that.
I think it's going to be all up to how Psyonix wants to structure it. You know, if they want to go like one pro a team, or, you know, give people free reign. I mean, the player base for like pro level Rocket League is right around college level. Like, I mean, the whole pro base, I think they lowered it to 17, I think. 15 max or minimum age of pro players, and there are like 15, 16-year-old players that are like the best in the world.
yeah.
So it's sort of like I could see college becoming a funnel to the pro league, or just all pros getting their full rides to wherever they want and just doing it on the side. I mean, CRL 3 times a week for an hour a day. It's, I mean,
not much for a full ride.
Not much for a full ride, and the prize pool at the end of the season that you're going to be competing against all the same people that you would be competing against anyways.
Yeah, compared to like, I mean, the amount of scrim hours and like practice that like pros put in, it's like
their hours are already there. It's just more scrims. That's all it would be for them. So
yeah, and I think like most of the stuff about like, you know, like we talk about like a pipeline from like collegiate to pro is like makes a lot more sense for traditional sports, because like when it comes to like professional recruiters and stuff, like obviously the goal is like when you're a high school player, it's like, oh, I want to get recruited and go play college football, and like, and if you're insane, like you're gonna get recruited at pro, like out of high school or something like that. But like it's just, that's kind of how the structures are built, where like you go there, this is a huge crop of like good players, and then you can go here, check a huge crop of good players, but we're all online. Like the entire sport and industry is so interconnected that like you can get the best of the best, and like they're not even done with high school yet. It's like you can just see all of that. Like
there's no ranked football, or there's no ranked soccer. Like it is part of the pipeline. Is the only option is to really play on your high school team and then into your college and into pro. So it's like, do many people get directly scouted out of just ranked? Not as many, but it's like that's a place where you can hone all your skills on your own without a team necessarily. And then, you know, a lot of people go to collegiate just to be seen because it's organized and it's often more financially stable and smarter than joining some tier 2, tier 3 team that's like, we'll pay you in scraps. And I'm like,
what if you could solo queue football though?
How would that work?
That'd be crazy. That'd be
you're just on a football field alone, and you're just like,
they find other people.
No, you're solo queuing, so auto follows 11 other or 10 other guys.
They just spawn in.
My tight end sucks this game. It's just
nobody knows the plays.
Nobody knows the plays. Come on, it's like the same thing.
Sounds like it would be just as difficult as solo queuing in Rocket League.
Yeah, it'd be rough. Yeah, because at least you get to go like, you know, talk to your teammates and stuff on like a high school team and stuff. But you get to go in, I'll be like, guys, we just played like a hour-long game and no one knows what they're doing. So it's rough. Yeah, like,
Let's get it together.
Yeah, I will stand by that. I think like being like a seasoned solo queue player in whatever game you play builds more team building ability or like just tolerance,
mental fortitude.
Yeah, mental
That's all it
fortitude.
is. Yeah, you can handle any situation. If you hit like 1,000 hours of solo queuing, I'll give you everything you want.
Yeah, now they finally added voice comms in Rocket League. In recent time.
Turn that off the day it came out.
No, they're so fun at the top level. Nobody uses it for like calming. It's just screaming at each other.
Yeah, just
it's
like
so much
music
fun.
blasting.
And the old ones where they were broken and your mic's cut out every 2 seconds, those were even better. They're so scuffed.
Yeah, there's nothing better than, I guess, just communicating through passive aggressive what a save. So it's really no reason to make any
it's
other
an art.
comms.
It really is an art.
D-pad warrior just onto
Yeah, exactly. You just,
like what's it like even like communicating in a game like Rocket League? Because we both don't play it as much. So like we are all hyper calm about targets focus, but like what's it like setting up passes, saves, all that boosts, all that stuff?
At the very top, there's like, you got to be talking like constantly. Like every second you're spitting out something. It doesn't really matter where you are, what you're doing. You're letting your teammates know what's going on. I feel like it's one of the few games where you're talking that much. Like in shooters and stuff, there's usually, like the moment of silence where you're waiting for something to happen. But in Rocket League, you're just constantly talking. I feel like it's like a different language. You're just constant.
The biggest difference, I think, between like Overwatch or like I've listened in on like R6 streams and stuff, it's just there's so much more reaction based and it's so much more fast paced. You're in Rocket League, you go for a ball, you either hit it, you miss it, and your teammates have to know immediately after if you're going to hit it or if you've missed it or if you get a slight touch or where it's going. So it's just all constantly shifting and morphing into different kinds of comms. And then, from there it's going to the next player and then you're all bouncing off of each other constantly. So it gets pretty lost if you guys don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like I've casted like Rocket League games like quite a bit, and I think like Rocket League more than like any other esport, you can see when comms fumble like in the game more than like anything else. Like you'll see like a double commit happen out of nowhere, and I was just like, someone didn't say something.
Exactly. And it doesn't take much. I mean, it's like you could be talking
quarter of a second.
Yeah, you could be talking the
falls apart.
entire time, saying everything right, and then your brain stumbles for half of a second, and then you guys lose. And there's it's not a long game, it's 5 minutes, so that's not a lot of time to recover from mistakes, especially if they keep happening.
Yeah, so I guess a little bit about that, because I mean, like, that is one thing about Rocket League is that, like, Rocket League, I feel like it's the shortest game duration of, like, any major esport. Of, like, the games are, like, fast, and, like, that's why you play so many of them back and forth. Like, do you think that's, like, really helpful as far as it's designed? Like, because I think, it would give you really good mental resets to, just to, like, bounce back, or do you like to just, like, kind of blitz through them, carry the momentum, or, like, what does that look like for you guys?
I mean, I think
kind of threw a lot at you there.
No,
so I was just
so
just take what you will.
I like the short part of the game. I don't think having a longer game, like playing like a 10-minute game, would be good, because it is just about capitalizing on other people's mistakes at the highest level. Once you're there, people aren't making mistakes often. You could very well sit there for 5 minutes and nobody scores a goal, nobody gets any sort of momentum. You just wait for one person to mess up, and then the shift is so large and so quick after scoring a goal. It sort of gives the other team that break gives them time to recollect themselves and, adjust their gameplay, their game style, talk about what needs to go on. But it's also not that long of a break. It's, 30 seconds, 40 seconds tops between games, unless somebody DCs, but there's enough time. If you're doing it efficiently and well, you can turn it around. But if you don't use that time wisely, you're just going to get rolled the next game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If the game was longer, like 10 minutes, I feel like it would be way sloppier, because it's so mentally taxing having to focus that, like, it's just a lot going on. So if it was longer, I think it would just be worse quality games.
Sure, it would be a lot rougher, I think, in that regard. So, well, I don't know if you had anything else to say on that, Evan, or you're in your expansive Rocket League knowledge.
I've barely played the game.
Okay.
I mean, I have played with my one buddy that goes to Oakland. He's the captain, Raz, whatever.
Yeah.
Roz is sick.
He
know Raz.
he built Hearthstone decks for me in high school. But he's really cool, and we played doubles back in the day on Xbox, and I would always rank higher than him.
Yeah.
So you're better.
That was that was Xbox way back before he got really, really good. But it's like, I didn't play the game. I just did doubles with him and got like diamond, and he was like plat, and it was just funny.
Yeah. Roz is sick. He's super nice.
Shout out Roz from Oakland. But yeah, y'all are listening to 89.1 Wider FM. I forgot I got to mention that every so often again, so to fit that in. But thanks so much for listening. This is ESPN episode 4. And I think next, if we want to jump towards some things, at least just your experience here at Western, I guess, and how, the program's been so far. Because I think we've been through like a full season of the ESC with you guys. And I know we're shifting, to sort of like, a separate season with like CRL going on and everything. But I mean, just how has been like, team environment, everything, just sort of just like meeting new people, everything like that. So,
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect when I first, because fall was my first semester at Western, and I didn't really know what to expect, but everyone was super welcoming. I felt like I could talk to anyone about whatever, and there weren't going to be any issues. The setups are really nice. So overall, it's been a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Did you transfer, by the way? You said you were a junior, so where'd you transfer from?
Transferred from Schoolcraft. It is community college near Detroit. I got the Michigan transfer agreement done. Got my associates.
Me too. Yeah, there you go.
Here.
It's nice, yeah.
I've been at Western, so all 4 years. So I came here in fall 2019, I think is when I started. And then I knew I wanted to try to play Rocket League because when I came to orientation, I met Tavian at, whatever the orientation table for esports. And I was like, I'm kind of good at Rocket League, might as well try. So I was trying to get involved with that. I ended up missing that first tryout. Tried out for the team freshman year, didn't quite make the cut there. But then I came back in the fall and made the team, and then we were a club team still. We hadn't made any sort of progress into becoming a varsity team at that point. So I think there was like 15 of us. And I mean, I still talk to most of those guys every other day, and I play with them all the time. So just sort of creating that sense of like community and having people to talk to and play with and just goof off with if you're bored. It's really great. And I'm really proud of how far like all of esports has come at Western just in the years that I've been here. I don't really know what it was like before, but I know that
we didn't have electricity. We just
Just tune into episode 1 of ESPN, and you can find out all about the early days where we spent way too much time on the old
played
days.
with the cave drawings and chalk. And that was
Hieroglyphics.
played real soccer with real cars. And that was about it. But
We actually do it in the arena parking lot all the time.
it's true. There actually was something about that in like 2019. I heard something about this one school did like a go-kart event with like the inflatable like soccer balls and stuff, and they did like it was sick. I wanted to do it really bad, but it'd probably be really expensive to rent out that many go-karts.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it'd be great. But sorry to cut off your sentimental answer, but
it's all good.
It's good. I appreciate it.
From what I started out with, like the club team being I started on Academy C, which is our third team, and I've just sort of made my way through the ranks and just getting better and better. And now I'm a sub for a top 16 team in the country. Like, that's pretty insane. And us being a varsity program as of last spring, I think, we sort of have a bit of a different structure with Tavian, and I think we've handled the transition pretty well.
Yeah, we've been through, I think, a lot of like growing pains and stuff, but I think every single year, there's always something to be learned, and, that kind of comes out well from it. So we sort of just like every single year, year goes through, learn a ton, but like at the end of the year, you're always just like, okay, there's one thing we can always do like a lot better and something like that, and keep going through. And so that was like a big focus with like this year was like, we wanted to promo players and events more. And so like, that's like everything I've been doing as far as like, graphics and promoting teams and stuff like that. And so that's just like a bunch of stuff we've been learning. But even then, like more stuff we're learning with like just adding a new team for League of Legends. We're like restarting open play, all those things. But like there's just so much more that goes on top of this than like just growing the teams and all that stuff. But I do want to talk about at least, you know, the thing you mentioned of starting on like a C team and eventually like making it all the way up to just like very big announcement to any of you out there who are like, I'm not really that good, you know, I'm not good enough to play on a team. Yes, you are. Go join the C team, and like if you want to put in the effort, you can keep going. Like I have seen multiple people in this program joining at an academy team, and they just put in the work and stuck around long enough that before you know it, like you're good enough to play at the top. So it just takes time and effort.
Well, that's exactly how it happened. I mean, I didn't make the first tryout I went to. There was one open spot and I tried to fill it and I didn't quite make the cut, but then came back. It was during COVID, so it was all remote, so none of us got to see each other in person. But I tried out for that team in that fall, made the C team, and then just slowly, like I think I finished that season on the B team, then went A, and then the varsity came out and I was like the JV team with the varsity. And then, now I'm the sub for the varsity team. So,
Jack, I think you're the first person I've ever met who did not make a team and came back to tryouts afterwards.
Yeah.
I think
those people are always like, you hate to cut them. And sometimes like the benefit of the club is being able to, if there's enough interest, there'll be 3 teams, obviously smaller size for Rocket League, but if there's interest, there'll be 2 of this team, 3 of this team, whatever. And and for me, like coaching Overwatch and having to cut people is like, you're pretty good. I just can't fit you anywhere because we only have one team
to go right
for the
now.
club, and like, so it's like I'll always be like, try out for the club team, even though they tried out for the varsity. I'm like, you'd be a great fit for that, and it's like they just don't show up or they go away forever. I'm like,
sad.
Yeah.
it's like I've only lived for the past 3 years. I've only lived with people I've met through this program. I only talk to people I've met through this program. That's
Great.
pretty sad. But you know,
It's better.
it's some, and there's so many levels to get involved with anyways. And like, if there's someone who wants to help with Rocket League streams or Overwatch streams or League of Legends streams that knows more than us, it's like, we'd love to have your help.
Oh, yeah, any sort of production for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, oh God, completely lost it.
you going with it, production, volunteering, people doing things, didn't cut from the team.
Oh, the cut from the team stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah, the like being cut from a team and then not coming back. I've never been in any situations where I had to try out for anything in my life. I mean, I went to a tiny high school where I mean, everybody that played one sport played the next sport and the next sport. You know, like
exactly.
me and all my friends were all
sure. You got on
right,
the team.
we're all-
I'm the quarterback, forward, and goalie.
That's exactly what it was. I mean, I had like a core group of friends of like 8 guys, and all of us were 3 or 4 sport athletes every school year. Like,
My varsity jacket has so many letters.
right, but it's just like there's nothing. You know, if we didn't play, there was no team.
Yeah.
You know, it was tiny. So I kind of liked the aspect of having a tryout and just being like, you know, when I didn't make it, I was like, oh, I mean, I'm going to play the game regardless. I'm going to be grinding because I'm addicted to it at this point, unfortunately. But, you know, I'm not going to stop playing. So, you know, why not just try to give myself a goal to reach instead of just being a ranked warrior and just living that life out, because that would be miserable.
Yeah, for sure. So well, I guess Donovan, how'd your tryout experience go?
Showed up and we played, like everyone played each other. And then at the end of that night, they're like, so pretty sure we're going to have you be on the team. And that's basically like, it was just like,
were you nervous going into it? Or?
Not really. Just,
I think Gengar was more...
not like egotistically. I just know I'm pretty good.
No,
like
that's
comparatively,
fair. Yeah.
you know. So if I didn't make it, I would have been like,
Yeah. Like
What's going on?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. That was I mean, I felt like the same way because like I tried out for like Overwatch in like 2018, and like I mean like mine was like different because I was just like scared out of my mind. I'm like, I'm not gonna make the team, and I was Grandmaster that season, and I'm like, what am I doing, man?
Yeah,
like I joined the team, and they're just like, yeah, you made the team on like first day of tryouts, and I was like, I gotta play the next day. I gotta make sure. And I was like, it's just.
I was like, I stopped really playing the game that much, and like I was masters, and I had the former coach before him was a brother of my fraternity at a different school, and like I just asked him, messaged him like, what's the SR of the team? He's like, yeah, it's like Diamond. I'm like, I'm better than these kids. I don't want to try out, right? It's like, but eventually I did, and it was great, and like so, yeah. To your point is like you're gonna make it, but it's like. Am I a good fit?
Yeah.
Are these the kind of people that I want to play with? Because,
Exactly.
You could be the best players of the team, and like we see every pro team at any sort of game. It's like, yeah, you're all good, but do you even work together well,
Right.
or do you stand each other's presence while you're playing the game?
Do you actually like each other?
Yeah.
No,
I've never been worried about that with any of the players that we've been around, especially like once like Gengar joined and like Alex and Corbin and those guys, when like we were all friends. I mean, aside from Gengar, but all of us were friends outside of Rocket League, and it was just one day they came up to me because I was on the team, and they're like, "Hey, you play Rocket League, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess."
I guess sometimes I got the tag, so
They're like, "Do you play Rocket League, right?" I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, well, we were thinking about trying out." I was like, "Yeah, please come try out."
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's always a negative sort of outlook at gamers in
Yes.
general.
Yes.
So
We fight that stereotype every day.
oh yeah,
Every single one. Everyone shower today? Yeah, make
Yep.
sure.
oh yeah,
Good. Yeah. So yeah, good. You gotta get that knocked out of the way and combat that stereotype as much as we can. But yeah, I talked about this in like episode 1. Like one of my biggest pet peeves in like I guess college esports as a whole is the amount of times where you have a team that is like okay or like above average, but like not like top of the line players, and I find a player that's like, hey, I'm like top 500, I'm insane or something like this, and I'm like, hey, come try out for the team. He's like, what's the average? And I'm like, well, it's like diamond or something like that, and they're just like, yeah, no shot, and then they just like leave, and I'm like,
you really don't want to be the hero, I guess.
yeah, it's like it's
We know they exist on campus, by the
Yeah,
way. If
they're
you're
real.
listening and you're good at a game, we know you're there.
yeah, we know you're
Right.
there, and I'm just telling you, with like a little bit of legwork, you can bring everyone else up around you and like bring them to your
That was my
level.
favorite part about being on any of the clubs, was that I was playing with people that were way better than me. I mean, that's how I got better. And now I'm doing it with other people. Like if I go scrim the like the club teams now, they're all like grand champs or champs 3s, but I like, not to sound like that, but like I'm a higher level than them, higher rank. So if I'm going to play with them, I'm going to be helping them out to get better, just like other people did for me.
Yeah, and you just naturally want to like return the favor. If like you put so much time in learning from other people that you're just like, all right, well, like I'm gonna, help the next generation around. And it's funny because like I feel ancient saying that stuff because like, but realistically, when we talk about like the program growing, this is like the first year where we're seeing like it's been 4 years. So like everyone who's been here since the very start as like freshmen to build this thing is like now we're just passing the torch to like other people in its entirety. And it's not like just happening on the organizational, it's in all the teams too. It's like the same thing of like everyone's been here for such a long time. It's like whoever's coming in next like have to prep you for it. So
Right. Yeah, no, I know Virus feels like that too, because Virus and I think we're the only 2 seniors on the team now, so there's definitely a lot of that. I mean, Virus was our coach last season, and then now that I'm like the sub, I'm sort of taking over that role, just trying to make sure that the team doesn't drop off the earth next
Doesn't
season.
implode,
So
no, for sure. But I mean, I think the teams find a way, I think, every single time, no matter what, like even if you lose people, like, it comes through. But it's nice to see that, cycling of, just new players, new teams, new everything coming through. So yeah, no, I think that is really cool. But you are listening on 89.1 Wider FM as I get to my next break point here. You're listening to the ESBN, so Western Michigan Esports Talk here. I've joined in the booth by Gengar, Rennet, and Evan. Gengar and Rennet from the Rocket League teams, Evan from the the arena. I don't know.
that is a good way to describe me.
The arena. He lives there now.
Yeah.
Does a bunch of cool stuff. But the next stuff I want to talk about is the Invitational coming up. Because we've got that coming up in a couple weeks.
Next weekend,
Actually. Wow, it's next weekend.
That's crazy.
It is next weekend because I am going to go work on a bunch of the promo stuff for that tonight. So, but anyways, the Invitational coming up for that. So, are you guys excited? You got any?
I'm definitely excited. Any experience I've had playing at a LAN, I mean, even our matches when we go and play in the arena, they're super fun, even if it's against an online opponent. But I was lucky enough to go compete for Western last summer at Eastern for their LAN. And I mean, they're just a blast being able, just like the intensity of sitting next to the person that you're playing against in this game, you know, playing for, you know, a trophy, money, whatever it is. It's just a different level.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like the camaraderie is so much better too, because I feel like, especially in like traditional sports, when like you're playing other people so often, you're just like, oh yeah, that's just normal. But like in esports, I get to go like meet the person I was playing against. I'm just like, what's up? Like, you're real. This is sick. Like, I get to play in person.
Like, it really is like that. I mean, it's like I've played with a kid named Purple from Grand Valley pretty much since I was a freshman, and him and I have sort of worked ourselves up in our own programs, and I got to meet him last summer at Eastern. So, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of that. Just people sort of, well, depending on the teams that show up, people either fanboying over any pros that decide to show up, or, you know, just everybody having a good time, I think.
Yeah, so I guess to give some frame to that, the Invitational is the 25th of this month. So that is Saturday at, I believe, doors open at 11.
It's, opening ceremony is at 11, and I think we start at noon.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're set as. Games
it's just like pool play or something, and it all decides once we have final teams and stuff like, So it's kind of our first collegiate Rocket League event. We've had like a high school one, I think, in the past.
We've done Rocket League as part of other events and stuff, and we do like I think
the Trine Invitational.
The Trine event, like we've done
Trine
like
GVSU, we've done like Rocket League related stuff,
but never like a standalone. I think for like collegiate and stuff. So that was sort of the goal we were trying to hit. Was like every year we're like, what game has not gotten like a major tournament yet? And we sort of just keep rolling through them because we did Valorant last year, and then in the fall. We didn't do anything this fall, did we? No, because we were trying to do it like
we were trying to get the Rocket League,
because Rocket League was supposed to happen in the fall, but we had to push it back
because we started working on the Rocket League tournament like I don't know, like I want to say like May last year. Is when we first started rolling thoughts together about it. So we were hoping for the fall, but we had to unfortunately push it back. And then we were going to have it in January, and then we had to push it back to February. So
but it's happening.
It's happening now.
It's happening now.
So I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, so it's happening on the 25th. Feel free, if you're in the Kalamazoo area, to stop by. It is at the W Esports Arena. That is on North Campus. It is right up the hill from Waldo Stadium. So if you've never been there, you can go ahead and drop in. It's open to the public, and you can just come watch some great collegiate Rocket League games. So it's probably going to go from like noon to about like 3-4 p.m. something like that. I think is about how long it's going to last. So like 3-4 hours.
I think it's probably going to be closer to 4 or 5.
Okay.
Just because there's a lot of Rocket League to be played, and we got to make sure that we don't have any issues with our setups or LANs or anything. So
my favorite part of running these events is everything's going perfectly fine, and then there's like a tech pause, literally 30 seconds into the first match of like I can't hear anything, and I go and just like someone's headphone jacking like another millimeter, and they're like, oh, it works.
I didn't know anything about audio, anything like that, and then just throwing myself into the program, I know way too much about these computers and all their stuff is like, it's always the step of like, is it muted? No. Cool. Are you plugged in? Yes. Okay. And then like the worst thing is like you just unplug the microphone and then plug it back in, and it's like that usually fixes it. Otherwise it's like an in settings thing, and it's just like, such a headache. With those things.
But no, so we're excited for that. I believe we'll be announcing the participants for the Invitational this week, and just trying to get those out in the air so everyone knows who's going to be coming. Because I keep messaging Tavian and he hasn't sent me anything back yet right now, so I'm just going to message him again today.
We're going.
Yeah, we're going to be there. Believe it or not, Western Michigan will be at our own invitational, so that's going to be pretty cool as well. So, but at least like going into that, so I mean, since like you're new this year, Gengar, you haven't played on any lands or anything except for the Ohio one that happened.
That was the only one I've ever played at.
Yeah, so I guess was that your first LAN ever?
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess what's it like? Like how is it different than any other stage game?
I mean, playing at the LAN was fun. It was a bit of a rough time getting there.
Oh, I heard about the weather.
It kind of sucked, but I mean, the LAN itself was fun. Like being around everyone, yelling, and like knowing your opponents heard you yelling at them.
Yeah,
that was kind of a nice feeling. So I'm excited for that part of our invitational too.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely gets pretty intense. I mean, I will say it's not like most esports. I feel it's like, I think honestly, if we just want to get into like a bit here, say like rank like the esports on just like most toxic LAN banter, because I have seen like
COD is number one.
Call of
it's
Duty
gotta be COD.
is insane. Like they are like screaming at each other.
I just got like visions of scum just
just
screaming at people.
Yeah, I'm just standing screaming after like one round. They are just going nuts and like
at each other.
It happens in college COD because I was watching some of like the LAN, because it was at the same LAN center I think you guys are at, that they hosted the college COD ones there. Like I think the week before. Yeah. And it was they're just like, some dude would get like one kill and he's like standing up, like pointing across the lobby and just like, you suck. And I'm like, there is no way like I would ever do that.
I wish Rocket League was more like that.
It'd be so much more fun.
So because I was gonna
say get a demo and you're just like
exactly. Yeah, I just start standing yelling across the lobby. So no, it's crazy. I think like the most like visceral of those, it's just like Call of Duty and like fighting games. I feel like I
was going to say that about the fighting games too. I don't remember it. Tavian showed us a video of the perfect combo.
Oh, the Street Fighter.
The Street Fighter one.
The Daigo Ken parry.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like that would be so hype to be at.
That'd be crazy.
I'd freak out.
So those ones are crazy because like I know it's like, I mean, it's just crazy. I don't even know how this stuff like happens, just because I felt like Call of Duty was just, I mean, it does come from like quite a toxic primordial soup of like the game where it's been around for so long and just everyone knows the memes about the COD lobbies. So like when that happens in LAN play, you're just like, there are still traces of everyone in this room like was there, when
the old Xbox days.
Yeah, the old Xbox days. We can't say anything about the Xbox lobbies on air, so I will refrain from talking about that. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So
I think the reason why COD is just so toxic like that is just that it's such a mainstream game.
Yeah.
So you just get like
everyone,
like you think about like you're going to have every sort of clique of every school playing one game and it's just crazy. I mean, my experience was always like the Brocks and the Jocks and the Muscle Hamsters hopping on there and they're just yelling random nonsense at each other the entire time. So I love that aspect of it. I so wish Rocket League was toxic like that. It's toxic.
It was toxic.
It's toxic in its own way where it's
not the fun toxic.
No, it's the really like annoying and like demoralizing toxicity.
Like you're trying to ruin someone's day, not have fun.
Oh, you're trying to have them like have a nightmare about like wake up in a cold sweat just thinking about what you said to them.
Yeah, a lot of esports are like that, where most of the banter when you're just like, I'm just trying to like psychologically destroy someone versus like, just say like, hey, you're bad at the game, and then just like afterwards just be like, I didn't mean it, man, it was okay. It was not really a big deal.
I think that's what COD's more like, where it's like you can talk your mess, you can say whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, you're both like, you're sort of forgetting about it. But in Rocket League, it's just,
You'll remember them for years.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna, especially when you get like higher level, you're playing against the same people every time, and it's just brutal.
I got my list of all the players. In my head.
Yeah, that's like the rough part when you start getting to like the top end of the ladder. Like when you're like in like plat gold and stuff, and you're just like, man, like this guy
You'll never play with those people ever again.
You'll never play with them. You'll never see them again. But like as soon as you get to the top ladder, you're like, oh, no, I know that guy. Yeah, because then you lose like the screen anonymity of like they know me. I have to like be conscious of this stuff, and like you can't be rude and stuff. So
it happened to me last night when I was solo queuing, and I played 3 games in a row against the same toxic team, and they're just sitting there like middle of the game just typing out full sentences at me. I'd play them 3 games in a row with my bad teammates, just saying I can't be
those
the worst one on the team.
Your actual teammates?
No, randoms.
Okay,
so
randoms.
I was solo. Naturally I'm the best one on the field.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm playing against the same 3 guys for 3 games, and I almost uninstalled the game last night. I was really close. I messaged him. I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I'm done. I quit the team. I'm done with everything. I can't.
He left the server.
Yeah,
I'm not showing up on the invitational.
Yeah,
it's over.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, we're done.
I'll never touch that game again.
And then the next day you play it again.
Yep. And then I woke up this morning and hopped on Rocket League for an hour before I did homework. So.
Well, yeah. It's just a deep dive into the Stockholm syndrome relationship.
It's dangerous. It really is.
Sports, but we're all talking about on 89.1 Wider FM here on episode 4 of the ESBN. So yeah, I guess to wrap up stuff about the Invitational, it's 25th this February, 11 a.m., 12 p.m. Doors open in that hour. Drop in, come check it out. It's going to be a fun time.
Also got stream for anybody that's not able to get to the arena. Whole thing.
Twitch.tv/TheWMU Esports.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there will be tailgates. I know my parents will be there tailgating.
Yes.
So
I'm
hoping everybody's going to be doing that.
It's my favorite thing, because we had one of our Rainbow Six players' parents that did
roommate.
tailgating. Yeah, was our roommate.
He's in Europe.
Yeah, he's gone now. But
I remember that. That's why I told my parents to do it.
Yeah, it's so much fun because it's like this is what I'm talking about. Like all the traditional sports things like catch up with esports and like we're getting there, and but the best parts we're slowly getting there. So as soon as I was because I was running the event and stuff that was going on, and I walked out because I went upstairs to one of the rooms to get something. We had one of the windows open, and I just smelled like grill meat, and I'm just like, what's going on out there? And I was like,
I had to plan to how am I going to feed my players because I knew we were there for so long, and then I'm just like.
I was also in that room. I saw a tent, and I'm just like,
there's a flag.
Hot dogs going. Oh yeah.
Walk outside. And it's like, you want a burger? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so
the best thing ever. Maybe I'll be doing that during the Invitational. I'll just be grill master outside.
Sub grill master.
Just going crazy.
You can bring the grill in the back. Honestly, if you put it over, we'll rope together 2 or 3 PCs. You can just do it on top of those.
Right.
On the fan grill.
Turn on a couple games so it just overloads.
Open Crisis 3 5 times and just run.
Not Crisis 3.
Yeah, I know Crisis 3 is not really the pinnacle of benchmark nowadays, but it's the eternal meme of that game that would just brick your PC because it was just so much to run. But no, tailgates are awesome, and our parking lot rocks for it. I think is really good because it's right over the football stadium. And I have to say this because I don't think it gets talked about enough. We have an incredible view of campus from the arena parking lot. I know that's doesn't seem like much of you just okay, it's a parking lot, but we are at the apex of the hill, that Western's built in, so you can see the valleys, all the classrooms, everything. It is pretty surreal sometimes when you're out there at night. So
you can't see it from anywhere else. You can't see it from the football field, so it's weird.
Yeah, the entire stadium is below us, so you can't even the stadium is not blocking your vision of anything. Right. So no, it is pretty cool up there. That was my one bucket list goal before I leave here. I want to get on top of the arena in some way to see it because it looks really cool from up there. But I'm how do I get on top of this building? I gotta figure out that way to convince some maintenance person to let me up there to see all that up there. So yeah, well. well, Invitational coming soon. I gotta double check how much time we have left here on 89.1 Wider FM. And we've got about 7 minutes left. So I guess the ending banter pieces this is like my favorite part of the podcast is when we get to actually talk nothing about esports.
What's the best car?
What do you
use in
just-
Rocket League?
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Oh,
that's a
in
good one.
Rocket League?
Yeah. Okay. We can get to some.
Not the best car in general. No,
Just in general, favorite car of all time.
Oh gosh.
because none of it matters, right? Or does it?
I mean,
It does matter.
There's hitboxes.
They're different. The
There's-
hitboxes are
Wasn't the
very-
Batman one like
the Batmobile? Yeah,
The
Had, like,
old
the-
school Batmobile
Dominus
was
Yeah.
Chads.
legit.
Dominus Chads.
Dominus, ridiculous. Octane and Fennec are your two go-tos, I think.
that's your try-hard car.
Yeah.
If you want to make people mad, use the Scarab. Everyone hates it.
Oh yeah, the
You'll
Scarab
get-
is my
Why do
favorite.
people hate that?
It's
because
like a
it's
little beetle.
just-
It looks like a
Oh,
ball.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
just is a ball with wheels, and it's great.
bring
my
back
God.
the Rhino truck.
Oh yeah,
Rhino.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
The ice cream truck one from the PlayStation exclusive.
I like the Fortnite Battle Bus.
the
now.
battle.
That's
bus.
in the game?
The battle bus is crazy.
When you boost, the back door swings open.
sometimes it makes the honking noise. That,
Yeah.
like when you drop out that.
it's great.
Ridiculous.
I think it's more potent for the BM factor.
The
but
F-150's in there.
the F-150.
That's
Oh,
it.
the
No way.
the new Mustang is
The new
in there.
Mustang.
The Formula
the
One.
NASCAR decal with the hot dogs. You can run around supporting Oscar Mayer.
Oh yeah, the Oscar
oh,
Mayer.
yeah, the
yeah.
Wienermobile. Okay, I was gonna say.
I guess the
they have one of those-
customization has gotten crazy.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
pretty
There's a lot.
in depth now, especially with like the esport leagues
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, each team has home and away for 3 different kinds of cars, so it's pretty cool.
So I did have this question in the back of my brain in case I ran out of stuff as well, because we know Rocket League just has an insane amount of music that goes with it. And I guess, do you have a favorite song from any of the collections
It's
they've done?
gotta be Breathing Underwater.
Breathing Underwater.
That's a banger.
That was like the first song that they had on the intro, and every
Yeah.
time I hear it, it's just like goosebumps. Like, dang, they kind of
so
popped
good.
off.
I've had music turned off in Rocket League for so long, but I have recently been playing on a separate account to play with my like IRL at home buddies, and they're not very good at the game. So I just mess around with them and I turn the music on for that. And I don't even know how you say his name. I hope I don't butcher it. but-
Mike.
No, Kuchais.
Oh
What's his name?
no, you got it.
Is that it?
Coach Ice? Coaches?
Kuchis.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no
He's a
idea.
He's got a-
rapper.
he's a
like,
rapper.
before
He's
Rocket
got, like,
League, but
his,
he had a song made for Rocket
Oh,
League.
Yeah.
okay. I know, like I've listened to so much of the Rocket League music, mostly because, so like, here's the thing, as far as like the music that goes into the arena and all that stuff, it's my Spotify account. It's like every time that I have logged into that. So my Spotify raps are butchered at the end of the year. And all my algorithm, like Discover Weekly, is just Rocket League music and like anything else
music.
like that. It's good, yeah, but like I like other stuff. too.
You're in the top 10% of Rocket League
Of, like,
listeners.
Monster Cat.
listeners, and I was just like, oh, really cool. Thanks so much. So, no, I have so much of that. I think one of the ones I really like is I think it's called Glide from like it was from like the summer pack or something like it was like a couple years ago
Yeah.
or something.
I don't know.
It's got some crazy saxophone line in it or something.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
that one,
summer
yeah.
pack,
I think I do remember that one.
yeah, that one's pretty good too.
They
So
got a lot of good music.
yeah, I know. There's so much for it. Because we were talking in the last episode about all the League of Legends music and good stuff that they make for that game, and I was like, Rocket League has got like an insane amount of music to go
I'm
through.
just waiting for the Rocket League short series, like they did.
Yeah, the
for League of Legends.
cinematics. what does the lore of Rocket League look like? You know, if we have to
Just a bunch of egg people sitting in an arena watching Rocket League.
watching Rocket League.
Yeah, we need actual lore.
I
for all these
assume it would be
cars.
something like Mortal Kombat, where like, you know, like the whole planet and the realms have to
Yeah.
get together, and they only compete in like Rocket League, or it's like Tron,
That could
or
work.
like that.
That
It's,
could work.
it's
I think
kind of
that'd be
that,
it.
but
I feel like Rocket League doesn't need some grand scheme thing like that.
But,
where
like,
How do we have a
Riot-
Netflix
Riot-
series if we don't have lore?
yeah, exactly. How are we?
Well,
gonna get
Riot
the-
we
has
need the
lore for
Netflix
Valorant,
series.
but there's no like PVE or any like thing. Like it's like The cars don't have personalities, so
But
it's like
imagine if we got like a Netflix
Scarab-
series.
The Scarab does go kind of crazy.
Yeah, Scarab goes crazy. We could have just a sole Netflix series about the Scarab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Probably
just
better than
how many people hate it and love it at the same time.
just like a docu-series about
Interviewing the Scarab.
Interviewing the Scarab. It's like, yeah, so how's it going today? It's like, yeah. But yeah, we've got a couple minutes left here to wrap up. And I guess to completely 180 away from Rocket League, I always just, I think it's a tradition at that point. We have just like a food banter piece at the end. So right now, Kalamazoo, Portage area, favorite food place. Go. No chains. We gotta.
Oh gosh.
What's that place you told me to go to? With the calzones?
No DP dough.
DP Dough.
You like DP
That
dough?
was really good.
DP dough is pretty good.
Really good.
I mean, the go-to normally is Two Fellas.
That was also really
Two
good.
Fellas. What do you get at Two Fellas? What's your wrap?
The
of
first
choice?
item on the menu.
The first item on the menu.
For
okay.
sure.
That's a good one. What's in that one again? It's
grilled chicken and ranch and just cheese and goodness.
just that.
That's all I need to remember is
I
that
know,
it's grilled chicken and cheese.
It's good. I think that is maybe the most important thing you could ask anybody as far as like, to tell if someone went to Western. I'm like, what do you get at Two Fellas? It's what's your.
you have to go.
get
Like anytime
get
we
a soda
talk to
from-
new players, it's like, you been to Two Fellas yet? It's like, what's
I-
Two Fellas? And I'm like,
I-
we have our
Literally what
like
happened.
after
I
a
took
game.
them.
Yeah, that's how it goes. They're just like, what's Two Fellas? We're going. Get in the car. We're
We
leaving.
used to
right
we used to
now.
go every single week after our games. We'd show up with all of our jerseys, and it was at the old location.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't this
Yeah.
bigger area. We'd take up the whole place, and we're like,
Yeah, we're cool.
Yeah, we went there, and then like week 3, my heart stopped in the middle of the restaurant, and I was like, "We can't do this every week." it was too
The
much.
end.
But I'm a big fan of the Rich. That's the mushroom steak Swiss one. That
Oh
one's really
yeah,
good.
I
Big
heard
fan of
that one of our teammates was saying that he tried one that I've never tried. It was like it was something blazing, maybe like
the
honey
Blazing Bronco. I think that's what it's
something
called.
like that. Yeah,
hot
He said-
sauce.
Yeah. It's just hot
It's like a
sauce.
honey.
It's
no, there's
just
one with
bread
honey.
with
I
hot
think.
Give you a bottle.
The
Sweet heat. That's
Yeah,
what it
put the
was.
bottle in
Our
and
roommate
wrap
gets
it.
that one a lot.
I heard the
so.
sweet heat's phenomenal, but I haven't had that one yet.
Sweet heat is really good. I'm a big fan of that one. The Bronco, that's like the barbecue tater tots, chicken, cheddar cheese one. That one's really good. So we love Two Fellas in this house. It's been sustaining gamers
Fellas.
for decades.
Zach
Seriously.
constantly asks us if we want anything. I'm like,
You got it
I
yesterday.
did house his tots last night. Actually,
they
He
need to
left them
they
in
need
the
to
fridge.
they need to do something to those tots, man. They're just Gordon Food Service tots.
It's
Oh,
true. There's,
They got to put something on them.
there's beauty in the simplicity. All right, man. They
They're
can just
bland.
I go to Two Fellas to just get something to throw in my stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm going to Two
Just like
Fellas.
open the door and just
Exactly.
just like put it back there.
I don't care how it tastes. It's gonna smack.
It's true, it will for sure. But all right, well, I think that's gonna wrap up this episode of the ESPN. So thanks so much if you made it this far, everybody, for listening. It's been great talking to you on 89.1 Wider FM. And I guess to give my last final shout outs, I will in a second because I always forget about this. Anything anyone wants to say left to everyone out there?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Come to the invitational.
Come to the
Come
invitational.
tailgate, please.
Yes, come tailgate. It'll be great. We'll make sure
Bring
we have
hot
enough.
dogs and burgers.
Yes, yeah. Bring burgers and hot dogs. If you can bring the Johnsonville cheddar
hungry.
brats, like those are so good. I'm all for those. But anything you got going on, Evan?
Go Broncos.
Okay, go Broncos. Correct. All right, the best thing to say for sure. So, yeah, if you like the content here, you can check it out on Wider FM's website. You can see more episodes here as well as info and shows from other players and stuff that we've got here at the Western Michigan Esports program. You can also check us out on Twitter and Instagram. That's at WMU Esports for updates on games, events, and anything going on in Western Michigan, whether it's esports or not.
We've got streams almost 3 times a week, and invitational events, open play, all that stuff. So
Yeah, also open play as well. The big announcement coming about that later tonight of we have open play Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 7 to 11 p.m. So if you want to come over to the arena, check it out before the invitational, after the invitational, by all means drop in, try those out. So
If anybody out there is wondering about trying out on a team or like concerned about not making it or just nervous at all, just go to open play. Because being at open play, there's going to be other people there. You're going to, at the very least, you're going to find somebody that's going to play with you. So you're going to make new connections, and you're going to get better that way. So
Yeah, for sure.
open play's huge.
Yeah, fight the stereotype of being a gamer. Go outside today. Go and meet some new people and meet some other Broncos. So thanks so much for everybody for listening this far, and have a good night, everyone. I'm waving. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.